right into the co-main event for the flyweight title. Deiveson Figueiredo, the champ, versus Brandon Moreno 4. So this is our annual Figgy versus Moreno fight breakdown. I feel like this is just getting old. For fourth time's a charm. This matchup is 1-1-1 with Figgy winning the last fight and currently holding the belt. Moreno is coming off a bounce back win. He had a little fight in there. Figgy hasn't, but Moreno did have one fight against Kai Kara France since their last matchup. And he was able to KO him. He did have a change in gyms. He cut ties with Glory MMA after that whole James Krause federal investigation, and people found out that he had a foot in offshore sportsbook business. So it had to have been a stressful time for Moreno for all this shit to go down in one of the biggest fights of his career. Worry about the backlash from that, or the stigma that he might face against people looking at him that maybe he had a foot in it. Look, he obviously didn't. I'm not saying that. Don't sue me, but people might have thought that because they are at the same gym. And he had to find a new coach too. And this is a crazy, highly anticipated rematch. So I was worried about that. That being said, I think every time we see Moreno, we see a new wrinkle to his game. We see him get a little bit better. He's taken on Deiveson Figueiredo, who hasn't fought since January 22nd of 2022 against Brandon Moreno, basically a year to the date. And he looked locked in great in that fight, fighting with tremendous motivation. And I think he's going to have a similar plan to his last time out. Figgy, he looked to counter strike, really picked his shots strategically, just looking for big power shots. And while Moreno kept his distance, circled around more, looking to slow Figgy down, wearing his gas tank, and kind of outstrike him, not with power, but just like point fighting. So it comes down to, will Figgy be able to catch Moreno, or will Moreno avoid the damage and outstrike Figgy, just like how he outstruck Figgy in 4 out of the 5 rounds in their last matchup. And I hate to say it because I love Moreno, but I think Figgy figured out the weight. He figured out the cardio thing, and now I think it's going to be pretty tough to beat him. I do think he might be looking past this matchup a bit. I heard Figueiredo talking about how he won't fight for a bantamweight title if Cejudo is champ, which is just like, what a fucking stupid thing to say. Like, Cejudo's not even champ yet. Like, you're thinking way too far ahead. I think so. You never know with this fight. It's very close. It is a pick'em right now. But I'm going to go with the champ in that one. Yeah, I just think that he's at his best at this moment.